Well, good morning. I'm a little anxious because my bosses are here watching my presentation. My wife is here, my mother and two of my three kids are also here. And my son, Santiago, likes Peñarol and he's in high school, so it's important for him to be here so they won't be pulling his leg. He probably received lots of messages congratulating me for The Simpsons and for other things that we did correctly during this week as Peñarol fans. Well, part of my family will probably not understand what I'm going to talk about. Gustavo talked about the now, and we do not know what's now, what's next, and to divide these two segments is complicated, but I will talk about a world I know a little bit more, and that's a Genexus world, the blue world that we were showing, and I will talk about that. Over the last few years, all the members of Genexus, all those of us who work for Genexus, know this very well because the marketing team has shown us the vision. I was looking at the screen, I couldn't find it, sorry. Okay, don't worry, I can manage. So, our vision. In this world, we have this vision. To describe it is easier. Software that makes software. To automate whatever can be automated. And why do we go to work every single day? Because we have a mission. And this mission, in words, is to help people create better applications in the easiest possible way. And this is what moves us. And the what's next in the green world of the solutions or in the world of technology is very difficult to anticipate. But in our world, we can predict. And we know that we are now working on the Genexus Salto version. And that's our what's next in the Genexus world. That's the Salto version. In order to tell you how we work within this world, well, what we do is to get to the world of solutions, the green world, we need to start in our own world. And this is an abstract world, maybe knowledge-driven development, or I would call it knowledge-driven because we produce models and we infer from those models, that is knowledge. And from this world, we jump to the other world. Well, how do we manage that? Through generators. To simplify, even though we take several steps, I could say that we use a generator. And this is how we map the two worlds. So I will talk about the Salto version in terms of generators and in terms of these bits world and the Genexus knowledge world. What do we do to improve modeling? I'll talk about the how and not about what we obtained, as Gustavo said. I think this is very straightforward. We've seen many cases and we'll see what we can do with Genexus. The Salto version will continue working on the web, cloud and integration. You've seen that. And I will talk about how we move from one world to the other through generators. So what generators do we use in Salto? First of all, the web generator. Ignacio Roqueta said that the world is neither web nor other things. There are many decisions we need to make, and that is why we need to keep a balance of what we want to decide which generators to use. The web generator, in fact, is made up of several generators. One is Java, one is server-side, one is .NET, And even though these generators are not explicit in our presentations, we are working on them. We work on them to find the best techniques, how to use the Java language to really take advantage of it. We use the Java generator for scalability, concurrence. So that generator that supports high levels of scalability and concurrence in 1 second, to have 30,000 requests in 1 second is high scalability. So we have a good performance. In 1 second, we have high scalability. That's in the Java generator and in Evolution 3 and in Salto. So we continue working there. And as Nicolas showed, in the part of the frameworks and the JavaScript generator, we keep on working, looking at the frameworks and for the user interface to see what we need to use in the world, what is used in the world, so that we can incorporate it in the generator. So web is still alive and well. And then some generators will be born. The first is the Swift generator. Some of you know that Apple is suggesting, well, more than suggesting, saying that the language to work in their platform is the Swift language. It's more modern, and they are suggesting this, and we make no decisions about what's next. That's in the red world. That's for the red world to decide. We use a Swift generator, and this is what we know how to do. Marcos Crispino worked hard in this field, and the Apples in Genexus today had already generated that when they told us there is a version 2 for Swift. So the KBs are not ready, but we will follow this Swift generator. It's going to substitute Objective-C generator, but there are not many new things in terms of features for you. We are simply following what needs to be generated. In the world of Google, there's nothing new so far. The platform is Android for mobile applications and the language is Java, though internal things have changed. Matias Hernandez will talk about how we catch up with recent design suggestions. We are in 6.0 version of Android, and that is a permanent commitment. We look at the latest version, we look at the language, and we do generators that respond. Here we even change the bidding process as Google recommends. We continue with what needs to be done. In the Microsoft world, Salto will incorporate a generator for Windows 10. If there is an important change in Microsoft, it's that they had several working lines for different devices, for Xbox, EditBox. There are ways of programming the Xbox, but we're not going to do anything for the time being. In this, we have in Xbox and the telephones and the tablets that will use languages that are not separate, but that was incorporated into what is called the Universal Applications with Windows 10. Sebastián Gómez will talk about the current situation, but these generators will be ready on the beta line. We have some examples ongoing, and Windows does not have telephones yet. I don't know when they will be launched, but very shortly we'll have the first beta generators for the devices when they are released. And for all Windows 10 machines, we have a generator. Another generator, where you've probably seen applications, is the wearable generator. We are working in the third stage of a generator. The first stage is to identify whether the technology is relevant, as we try the glasses. Now we try the watches. We'll try Apple TV, Android TV, For the watches, we've made some progress. In the second stage, we implemented more specifically, doing it well, with all the programs in writing to understand the technology. Some friends, like Broker World, worked with us with a backend of Genexus doing interfaces, exchanging opinions as to how to do things in the watch world. And we are now in the stage of abstraction where we put the necessary things in the model. The model is well done in Genexus, so we can model it, we can add things, but it will take a little bit longer than other products, but we will release a wearable generator that will be used in all business applications. So, in fact, Ignacio Roqueta talked about this yesterday. There's a lot of technology to be used, different devices, and the variables of the technology to be used, if I have to use something native, because I have to integrate the watches or with television, I will choose one thing, because if I have to cover everything, and I don't have to go to television, for example, maybe I can use web applications. What we create is not generators per se. We create generators to bring solutions. So we'll see that our generators generate solutions. And in turn, they have many generators. Now, going back, it's hard to follow me as an interpreter, right? I'm sorry for this. I'll try to slow down, please. She's happy, it seems. She's alive, yeah, still alive. So this is a world of generators. I can transform generators that are in a folder today to do something real. The world of technology is not moved by us. We are working along innovation lines, but, well, in the case of Apple, we know about television and we'll have to get this ready, a generator ready for the Apple TV. Now, what happens with the modeling world? The world, of course, the generators, this is run by Genexus. I was about to say Artech, but the company is now called Genexus. Well, in the world of generators, the Genexus community is constantly working on a daily basis. So, in this field, in modeling, we always have to control two forces that struggle against one another. On the one hand, we want to add power, but at the same time, we want things to be simple. So, in each version, we must find a balance between these two forces. So there are things that we have to incorporate